All right, hey, so this is episode 14 of Ask EJ. Let's do it, man.
All right. First question comes from Richard from Richmond, Virginia. I open ca-
Richard from Richmond.
Richard from Richmond.
All right.
I open carry and watch your Box O holsters video. You bash the Blackhawk Serpa holsters. Why? Open carry, you want a retention holster so a bad guy does not get your gun. Second, what belt do you use for carry? You showed it but didn't name it.
Twofer.
Twofer.
Uh, Bashing the Blackhawk Serpa. Yeah, I do. Because the way that the um, locking mechanism, the retention mechanism in the Serpa is, it is highly conducive to having an ND. When Blackhawk came out with that holster, everybody thought it was pretty cool. And then the military jumped on it, said, oh, yeah, we could use that. And then the problems started happening. So the locking mechanism for the Serpa has you index your finger along along the side of the outside of the holster, and you're pressing down. Now it's twofold. When you draw the gun out of the holster and your finger is pressing down, in that microsecond from the time you press that button down to the gun actually comes out of the holster, like it's a microsecond, especially under stress, your finger is already being pressed down. So as it comes up, the finger has a tendency to continue that downward pressing movement right into the trigger guard and trigger area. All right, which could be bad, obviously. Then you have instances like with Tex Grebner. If you Google that video, and he's pretty open about what happened on the draw, you could have that locking mechanism interfere with the trigger itself and cause the trigger to be pushed to the rear, discharging around. I don't disagree with your retention factor, especially in open carry, but there are different types of retention that are better, if you will, in regards to reducing the amount of ND potential than the Serpa. So look at like a Safari ALS holster, Safari Land, excuse me, ALS holster. I would say that things with a thumb uh, unlocking mechanism, thumb drive is I guess what they call them, is a lot better. But that's my reasoning for bashing the Blackhawk. I mean, there are a lot of on the Blackhawk thing. What was the second one? Two for.
What belt do you use for open carry? Or what belt do you use for carry?
So I have two that I use. I used I used to use Josh Cobleson from Cobleson Leatherworks belt. I like it, but now I use Crossbreed with Aries belt buckle. So this is what I have on now. Very thick, double stitched belt, and it holds the gun really tight as far as the clip. If you get the clip in the belt sized the right way, so there's a different measurement for the belt and clips, so make sure that they both are the same. So this is an inch and a half, so make sure your clip is an inch and a half. If you get a 2-inch clip, then there's a half inch of play on pulling the gun out of the holster on your draw, so make sure you do that. And then I just like the Aries belt buckle because it works like an old military belt, in that when you put it in, then this locking bar slides up a little bit and you just kind of pull on it and it locks it in. And then to release, I just push in a little bit on the belt, roll the bar down, and it comes out. So that's what I use on the belt. This is our signature series belt from Crossbreed. You can get that. You can put a link in there, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So you can get that one. And then our buckle that comes with the belt from Crossbreed. So it's got our little logo stamped here in the belt, and then obviously on the buckle itself. So that's what I use. Just, you know, if you're looking for a gun belt, it's not going to be that TJ Maxx belt or your little Macy's belt. That's going to bend in half. So you need a belt that is specifically made for a gun. All right. Number 2.
Number 2 comes from James in Yelm, Washington.
Yelm.
Yelm.
Spell it.
Yelm.
All right.
Okay. Acceptable?
Washington.
Washington. My college won't let me carry my gun on campus, and I hate not to have my gun on me. Is there any other items I can carry on me and be legal?
Oh, this whole legal thing keeps getting in the way. I don't know about Washington, man. I don't know. Like, you have state of Washington rules, then you have county. You may have city ordinances as well that apply more restrictions than the state. You may have, and then because you're on a college campus, they may have more rules than either your city or county ordinances as well. I would tell you to read the rules at the state level, read the rules in the county, city, and then your college rules and see how they work. But more than likely, there's not anything that's going to be better than carrying a gun. Why? Because anything you got to put in your hand requires you to be close to the guy. So your question is like, is there something else I can do and be legal? So it's a compound question. So other things you could do, if I've got a gun and I'm standing across your classroom, I have standoff and I can kill you. If you have to put something in your hand, you don't have standoff. So you've got to get close to the guy. Ideally, we don't want to get close. We want something that reach out there and touch him. So if you can't carry a gun, I don't know, man. Here's what I will tell you. You could look at, what's the name of that? campuscarry.org, I think, or something like that. Campus Carry. There's a whole campus carry movement. They did some good work down at FSU, Florida State University, petitioning the state legislature. And, they had some resistance from the sheriff's organization, which was, they're the police or sheriff or chief's organization, which I thought was interesting. The guys with guns telling you don't need a gun. But you've got to institute change, and it has to be from a legislative standpoint. It's funny how the colleges will give in if the commons area is not selling wheatgrass juice or something. But when it comes to self-defense, they just want you to basically comply and die. Yeah, man, I wish I had more to tell you on that. Again, I'm not too familiar with the state of Washington, but you're going to have to do your homework. I will just remind you that there's a difference between allowed and able, but I would caution you to don't break any rules. You need to know what you would go to jail for. So that's a good question right there. That's a real good question. Because now what I'm doing, what's his name again? James?
James.
James. Now, James, what you got me doing is thinking about, when my kids go to college, what would I actually tell them? Be out there breaking laws or anything, but at the same time, you want them to come home. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to think on that some more. But I would definitely tell you to look into that college or campuscarry.org, I think is what it is. Oh, hell, we'll find it out. We'll find that, put that link in there too. And you can look at those guys and see what they're doing. They're going to be a lot more up on it than I am. Been a while since I've been in college. All right.
Question 3, kind of on the same line. This is from Nick from Harrisburg. My office.
Harrisburg what?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
My bad. My office policy forbids firearms on property. Should I still conceal carry? There's no metal detectors or anyone checking to enforce the rule.
I don't know what PA says. Well, that's a personal decision. I'm not going to tell you to break the law. But I would say that you're probably more likely to have some snooping, nosy cubicle neighbor trying to get up in your business. So you'd have to be aware of that. Oh, man. Again, that's tough, Because let's say for a minute you decided to break the rules of your company and you got caught in you left your bag open or whatever and somebody saw something and they reported you and you got fired. Would it have been worth it? On the converse, you have an active shooter in that building and you didn't and you died. Would it have been worth it? Precarious, right? I know. I get it. Trust your heart. I sound like a Hallmark card. Trust your heart, young lad. Trust your heart, be smart, and no days off. If you understand what I'm saying. But I'm not going to recommend you break the law, however stupid they may be. So be smart, and the whole objective is to stay alive and enjoy your life. If you're fired from your job, at that point you're not enjoying your life. So you have to be the one to make that type of decision. I can't make it for you. Pros and cons to both sides. So I guess that's a non-answer, right? I love coming here listening to your non-answers. All right, that's another good question. It does parallel, right, with the campus thing. I wonder if is it just a blatant blanket policy? No guns allowed. Which, a lot of companies have to do that just from the liability standpoint. If their insurance company finds out that they allow, then, a lot of insurance companies out there are dropping people. And it has to do a lot with the way the administration has shaped the whole gun debate to begin with. So, it's funny, like if you're caught with a gun, you're fired. If you're caught doing drugs, you could go get an employee assistance program, and you can get rehabilitated and whatever. Things that make you go, All right. One's in the Constitution and one's not. I know, right? It's like what's up is down and what's down is up. It's a good question. How do you like my non-answer? All right, some dude put in there in the comments like, "Oh, I love coming to your non-answers." I would just encourage you guys to think about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and the consequences that lie therein, and make your own decision. All right, is that it?
That's 3.
All right, cool. Let's see. Don't forget to check out the Instagram. Our Instagram's been growing lately. That's cool. And then always Facebook. And the radio show on iTunes or Google Play. Snapchat, of course. And I think we're good. So, you're guys going to say, well, what shirt is that? Okay, it's 9 Line Apparel. It's the Benghazi shirt. I love this shirt. So if anybody from 9 Line, if you're watching this, like, call me, email me. Let's get together. This is completely bad to the bone. I love it. Let's talk. Oh, hey, you remember when I was telling you about the XC1 light I was going to try? I got one. Right there. But I had to get the I Love Travis Haley holster and put it in there for right now. I'm going to get Crossbreed to get me one with this light on it. But so far, so good. I got to run it in some force-on-force scenarios to see how I really like it, though. See how it works under stress. That's good. Okay. Well, great. As always, stay alert and practice often. We'll see you on the next episode. All right. Bye, guys.